What's up? Check it out. Do you know how many people literally work from home from their online business and make money? It's even more popular in today's world than ever before. But a lot of people have no idea how to actually get that started. Turns out that there are 7 simple steps that if you follow, you can have your own perfect online business. Come on.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
As promised, today we're going to talk about how to start the perfect online business. Dude, think about it. In today's world, do you know how many people literally just work from home? My brother Nick just got back from a 3-month RV trip in a beautiful 6-figure RV. And guess what he does? He does all of his business from the couch, meaning from the internet. And in today's world, in our post-pandemic world, more than ever, people are searching for ways of literally having more autonomy, flexibility, and making money on their own. Starting an online business is easier today than ever before because for the last couple of decades, all sorts of companies have come about to create tools to make it super easy. Like for example, do you know that 5 years ago, I was hardly online at all? And yet everything that I do today is like a web-based business. While you might be subscribed to my channel because I make a lot of money in real estate, or I make a lot of money in business, or I'm teaching people how to do crypto and stocks, the reality is what connects all of those together at the end of the day is business. It is usually done online. So if you want to increase your financial genius, then you're going to have me share with you right now the 7 steps for how to set up a perfect online business. Now, right now you're probably thinking, okay, Kris, I don't even know what my business is. For today's video, you don't actually have to know what that business is. At the end, I'll give you plenty of ideas. I need you to understand, however, that the first step is to find a need and fill it. So a lot of people will start their whole search by saying, oh man, I guess I need to find the perfect product. If I have the perfect product, then I'm going to be all set for business. Instead, check this out from Entrepreneur. Most people who are just starting out make the mistake of looking for a product first and a market second. To boost your chances of success, start with the market. The trick is to find a group of people who are searching for a solution to a problem, but not finding many results. And I want you to just think for a moment. The most successful companies from the last 2 decades have been doing nothing more than solving problems. You should be asking yourself, what am I good at? And what's missing out there where I could provide a niche, where I could supply a solution for people out there that are searching for it. They just don't have a really good solution yet. I was chatting with my friend, John Lee Dumas from Entrepreneurs on Fire. I was on his podcast and he was sharing with me his thoughts about how you find needs and how you fill them. And he said, Kris, riches are in the niches. You got to keep niching down until you become a one of a kind. And then be your best of that one of a kind. I said, John, what do you mean? He said, take me for example. Entrepreneurial podcasts already existed 7 years ago when I started, but you know what? There was no entrepreneur that was actually putting out a podcast every single day. And so I became that guy. There's a need out there. People wanted information where I would interview very successful entrepreneurs, but because I was willing to drop 20 minutes every day consistently for 7 years straight, I built up this ravenous following. Well, he did that. He found a need by asking himself not just what's the market that is looking for a solution, but what is something that nobody else is doing? I want to teach you a new word. That word is called copy. It's the marketing language for your message, because the second step is to share a message that sells or create copy that sells. Copy is the message that really entices and helps your market know that you understand them. Check this out. Throughout your message or your copy, you need to focus on how your product or service is uniquely able to solve people's problems or make their lives better. Think like a customer and ask, what's in it for me? Several years ago, my business was struggling and all of my copy, all of my messaging was about what I thought my customers needed to hear. And then all of a sudden I started doing this thing called split testing and surveying. I started asking my audience, what do you guys want to hear? And you know what? They started sharing with me their perspective that was slightly different than mine. I decided to alter my copy or my message to mirror and reflect more of what they were looking for. And you know what happened? Within 6 months, we grew 400%. There's so much power in being able to speak the language of your ideal customer instead of you communicating in the only way that you know how. Well, I hate to break it to you, but there's no way that you can have an online business unless you also have an online website. Step 3 is design and build an easy to use website. And you know, we're not going to talk about platform. There are so many companies that make this so easy today. Man, I think when I built my first website back in the very beginning, I think I paid someone like $20,000 to do it for me. Now you have these crazy, cheap, simple services that almost understand how people like to go through websites, and they literally make it plug and chug super, super easy. Once you've got your market and product and you've nailed down your selling process, now you're ready for your small business web design. Remember to keep it simple. You have fewer than 5 seconds to grab someone's attention. Otherwise, they're gone and never be seen again. If you're gonna put yourself out there and you're gonna do some marketing, you have to have a place to send people to, and this is where you need to have that copy or that message completely nailed down so that you can grab them. For example, a lot of people that follow me when it comes to the game of real estate, let me tie it all together. My niche is that I'll do real estate for you. There are very few people out there that will share in all the profits 50-50 and make that happen. So what's my message? I got 5 seconds to grab their attention by me saying something like, what if I do all the work and we split the profits equally? Well, for a lot of people out there, that is exactly what grabs and pulls them in. Another one of my messages, are you sick and tired of your 401k and IRA not being enough? And that will also grab an audience out there that says, well, I've been saving for retirement, I've been serious, and I've been looking at real estate, but I've got them now, and I can pull them in and start having a conversation like, what are the alternatives, and what would real estate be like if it was safe, simple, and done for you? By the way, if this is starting to look like a little too much work, and you're worried about putting a website together, at the end, I'll show you a real simple business that uses 6 of these 7 steps and shows you how to even bypass having your own website. All right, check it out. You found the right product or service. You've also dialed in your messaging and you've got a website that grabs people's attention. Now you got to figure out how to bring people to your website. And you know what? In today's world, there's something called pay per click. In fact, step 4 is use search engines to drive traffic for you. Now, search engines, social media, Facebook, Instagram, there's all these amazing platforms that have all of this data, and you can pay very cheap money to find that type of person you're looking for and saying, check out my ad. And at the end of the day, there's very simple ways for you to spend very little money to develop a very qualified lead. Check it out. Pay-per-click advertising is the easiest way to get traffic to a brand new site. It has 2 advantages over waiting for the traffic to come to you organically. First, PPC ads or pay-per-click ads show up on the search pages immediately. And second, PPC ads allow you to test different keywords as well as headlines, prices, and selling approaches. In other words, either your pay-per-click is actually going to work and get you qualified leads for your product and business, or it's not. But when it doesn't, it also gives you valuable information. Do I have my keywords wrong? Do I have my messaging wrong? Or maybe there's fewer people out there than I thought. At the end of the day, you can set a really small budget, $5, $10, $20, and it can tell you a whole lot of things about the people that are out there that you're trying to offer your products and services to. Amazon introduced the world of reviews. And now you've got Google reviews, and out there, everyone pretty much knows that your product or service, they're gonna feel more or less comfortable buying it based on what others think about it. You've got to think about your reputation. So the 5th of the 7 steps is establish an expert reputation for yourself. People use the internet to find information. Provide that information for free to other sites and you'll see more traffic and better search engine rankings. The secret is to always include a link to your site with each tidbit of information. For example, take my name and do a Google search on Kris Krohn, and you're gonna get hundreds of thousands of results. Images, videos are gonna pop up, and you're gonna see, oh my gosh, Kris, you're linked on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and TikTok and everywhere else and YouTube. And at the end of the day, what I'm doing is I'm actually putting my reputation out there. And you're also gonna see that a lot of other people are out there reviewing me, they're blogging about me, they're sharing their thoughts, their feedback, their ideas. It's not all nice, but most of it is. And so if you maintain a good reputation, that's how people also feel comfortable enough to say, you know what? Let's do business together.
Let's do business.
The 6th step might actually account for the majority of your revenue. You see, when you actually pay for leads, do you really think that you're gonna sell them on the first conversation? In today's world, there's 17 exposures, 17 opportunities for someone to say yes or no before they typically go out and actually buy your product, which means you have to have a way to nurture this database of leads. You have to have a way to keep communicating with them. The sixth step is called follow up with your customers and subscribers with email. When you build an opt-in list, you're creating one of the most valuable assets of your online business. Your customers and subscribers have given you permission to send them emails or maybe texts or other information. Understand that while people need a lot of these touches, you've got to just keep providing value. They may have opted in saying, I think I want to buy that, but I'm not ready yet. Like, well, how about this? Or let me educate you on this, or have you consider this? And all of a sudden, 5 emails later, they're like, okay, I'm ready now. Here's my credit card. So in other words, in today's world, you actually have to keep nurturing people. You might spend $10,000 this first year on all of these leads from your marketing, but you might only make $50,000 in the first 6 months. You might make another $250,000 over the following 12 months just because you continue to educate, nurture, and help people understand what's up and what's down in your niche. Now, before I share with you my favorite online businesses that you can do right from your couch, let me share number 7. You got to increase your income through back-end sales and upselling. Not all sales are going to be automated like, well, I set up my Shopify system and then people didn't buy. Sometimes you got to pick up the phone. Sometimes you got to text people. Sometimes you got to email people. Maybe it's a special that you're doing, but often it's creating an opportunity to sell people. One of the most important internet marketing strategies is to develop every customer's lifetime value. At least 36% of people who have purchased from you once will buy from you again with follow-up. And my experience is that a lot of times people like to start with free. Hey, I want to get that free report from you, or I want to get that book from you, but I'm only willing to pay the shipping and handling of $7.95. But then later they come back and say, you know what? I checked out the book and I got the free report and it created a lot of value for me. So you know what? I'm ready to dance a little bit more serious. Let's tango, baby. One of my mentors put it this way. He said, Kris, the fortune is in the follow-up. If you have found the right market and the right product or service, and you put the website together and you've generated leads and it didn't immediately make you a grundle of money, that's because you've only gotten started. Now with that nurturing, that following up and picking up that phone and calling people, that follow-up is ultimately what's going to determine whether you're a very successful company or not. The likelihood of you striking it rich on a company that doesn't require follow-up is like, I don't know, maybe 1 in 10,000. I mean, your odds are really, really low. You need to build your business model that says we got to do some follow-up. It doesn't have to mean you. Remember, you're the owner. You don't have to be the operator. You can also hire this out or give people a percentage of the upside or the commissions for actually doing some of that work for you. Think about my business. I own all of these businesses. What do I do for a living? I make videos and then I'm a playboy. It's pretty good.
Nice car. Should see my other one.
You know, sometimes the hardest part of having your own online business is starting with the right idea. And I want to share with you a bonus hack. Even though I've given you these 7 principles today, you should always ask, is there a proven model or a system out there that's already been set up so I don't have to invent this thing from scratch? Some people are inventors. Some people say, yo, I'm just going to do this on my own. There's other people that say there's got to be a smarter way or there's got to be a shortcut. I'm the shortcut kind of guy. I like to actually find out who are the experts that have actually hammered this thing and figured out how to do it. And I've done that for you. In fact, I've done some research and some homework during the last 2 years, and I have found a number of amazing at-home businesses that have created ridiculous results for so many people. Click the link below and let me show you some of these businesses. There's an opportunity for you to actually see all the different kinds of people that I've helped in 50 different types of businesses. You can find the one that works for you. But don't be surprised if what they all share in common is only really needing an hour or 2 a day. I got some people that are crazy. They'll put in 7 or 8 hours a day. But this is designed to be a business that takes little time and gives you a lot more money for the value of your time, because I like to help people get out of their jobs. I like to help people be smarter with their investments. I like to help people be smarter with their money. And this type of side hustle yields an opportunity for you to make a lot of money with very, very little effort. And that doesn't mean it's get rich quick. It just means it's get rich smart. Click the link below, grab a copy. Hey, thank you so much for watching today's video. You know, I've often wondered, if I lost it all, how long would it take me to get it all back? And I've unfortunately had some friends that literally lost everything. It was painful for me to watch. And so I've played this mental game over and over in my head, and I've asked, how would I make it all back? And you know what? I finally came up with the perfect answer. and I made a video right here showing you how I'd get back on top like that. No, number 4's right. Oh, I don't know why that popped up. It's because maybe how I touch the TV. Don't touch the TV's private parts. I don't know. Whew. All right.